So we're having waffles, both of us, and mine doesn't look as good. But James's waffle is this with mango, and mine is brown rice protein powder with a little bit of the Vega protein made simple. You can see there's some carbs there, 7 grams, but I put only half of that serving size, and I'll talk about what else I did. So, Dogfight, I gave this top of the stack, but you know what? I thought they did a good job with Love and Honor too. And the rest, Inland Empire, well, you can see the rest of the stack there. So, we'll get this set up so that my camera has a little hat on it. Otherwise, it gets too hot out here too. So, let's see if I can get a little more James in there. There we go. Why not? So, James is having a, oh, that's a hot seat. Mango, no, sorry, banana mandarin smoothie. And what is touching me? Oh, it's the thing on my hat.
Yeah.
It's
the tail on it.
I'm really tired. Anyway, so, oh, I should do the spin. But it's not a fancy one.
Your pants.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because my shorts, they got melted a bit, and it doesn't look very good.
So they're made out of plastic.
Yeah, they are. So they melt really easily.
I didn't want people to misinterpret it. So.
Oh, it's fine. I'm not worried. So, what I did to make my waffles so that I can actually eat a waffle. I totally messed up my waffle. I have a lot of cleaning to do now. But I wanted it to be kind of tasty, and you know, it's not really that tasty, I have to admit. What I did, like you can taste if I can see it. Yeah.
Tastes okay, but you don't have any sauce on it, right?
No, I have strawberries to go onto it, but I didn't even allow myself very many strawberries.
It's not bad. It's just bland. So
yeah, well, brown rice protein powder is bland, but if you look at how many carbs you get out of that, it's really, there's hardly anything there. And so I tried to make it a little more flavorful by adding a little bit of this, because I thought, well, these are flavors that, you know, would be in a waffle. Anyway, so then what I did to stick it together is I put flaxseed ground up mixed with water, and then like set that aside so that it would kind of jelly a bit, and then added a little bit of mozzarella cheese to it as well to stick it together, and it sticks together well enough as a waffle, but I have to tweak the
recipe.
Yeah, but I suppose so that I can enjoy a waffle, whatever, it's something. So, Dogfight. The first couple in that stack are about, it's strange that I picked both of those out. They're about the Vietnam War. And this one has River Phoenix in it, and I had never heard of this movie, whatever. And both of these are kind of love stories that, well, this one's more of a love story. This is more, I guess it's a bit of a love story too. Yeah, it's a, I actually thought that the story maybe worked out a little more believably with this one than this one. I had a hard time deciding which to put on top of the stack. They did a good job. Good enough job. And I don't really have anything to say about either one. If you're into watching romantic sort of whatever, it's the reason this got on top of the stack, I think, is because I didn't believe the the costumes and this. I didn't believe these characters as being in that time
The
period.
60s, early 70s.
Yeah, whereas this I did. So this, I don't know. But the story in this one, I don't know. Anyway, it's just how it ended up in the stack. Don't ask me. So I brought Inland Empire out again just to show where it fell in this stack, because I still have it around. And I watched a couple of the other extras, and they weren't as good as the ones we've watched anyway. So
Sorry for interrupting. Which one had the more realistic kind of setting type of stuff? Which seemed more like the 60s, this one?
this one.
Yeah. Although this Pee Wee Herman little peak on the hair, that didn't exist, folks. That's really stupid. But the short haircut, I mean, this feathered kind of haircut, it didn't exist back then. Maybe in Hollywood, I don't know.
Okay.
Try to get stuff realistic.
In any case.
Hollywood, whoever's
Yeah,
doing that
it
stuff.
bothers me when they don't do the work. And here, The Hunger, the complete second season, hosted by David Bowie. And I kept fast forwarding through the parts with David Bowie because I found them to be dreadful.
It's the writing, I mean, and you can see he's just kind of almost like phoning the thing in.
Yeah. I kind of felt sorry for him in this.
His estate should sue. Fact is, his ghost should sue.
Anyway,
Well, maybe they
but I
paid him
guess
a
he was having a
fortune
hard
for it.
time
Yeah.
making money back then or something. Maybe he was trying to reinvent himself to draw another crowd. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway,
he did
he-
that so many times. People just started to tune it out.
yeah. So the first episode had him and what's his face? The brother, Phoebe's brother from Friends. If you watch Friends. And
I'd never even seen him before.
Yeah.
That's how I don't think I've ever watched a whole episode of Friends all the way through. So
And I found it interesting that Phoebe's brother from Friends was also in Avatar, Fire and Ash, which I haven't seen Phoebe's brother from Friends since Friends. So that's
way back when.
yeah, and so that's interesting that I picked out two things that are around the same time.
They didn't strike me as
Anyway.
being out of place in a movie.
No. Anyway, the first episode, though, the reason that I bring this up is in the episode, like it's relying on shock value and stuff like that
Or lack
For-
of value.
to try to sell itself. This series, it's sort of like a Red Shoe Diaries, but mixed with violence.
A healthy or unhealthy dose of violence each time out.
So, and this is really, you're talking about my generation here. This is whatever. So it's not shocking to me. It was off-putting for James, but
Not really shocking. It's just, I mean, when you see CSI opening up their shows
Yeah.
with that formula every time, it just, meh. You know, I've covered the Assyrian annals. You know, like they did all sorts of horrible, gruesome things, including rape and so on and so forth, included in.
I guess you're
Violence,
right.
so.
Yeah, it's just
It kind of made me squeamish when I was first.
for this to
looking
be
at
on TV at this time. It's sort of like James and I were talking about it. It was sort of, opening another door. It's like a milestone sort of thing in a way. And I guess we were talking about the X-Files was too, Simpsons, stuff like that. They were just things that all of a sudden things were seen on TV that had not.
it. Been seen
There
or
was
heard.
no way that they would be seen on TV before, at least here in Canada. And I guess since this was made in Quebec, that's maybe why, because it's just a different culture there than anyway. But the first episode, the guy cuts off his legs and he's upright. He's strapped in so that he's looks like he's standing up, but he has no legs. And the police are talking about how it took 10 minutes for the blood to drain out of his legs, so he was alive for 10 minutes like that. Well, no, because if that's how he died, then blood doesn't just drain out. It wouldn't take 10 minutes to drain out. It's going to get pumped out, and yeah, so, and it gets pumped out very quickly from there. You have some pretty major, anyway. So I found that there were some things in this that it's like, okay, just do a little bit of research while you're writing these stories. I know it's just, you're up for some cheap thrills. There's you see a lot of breasts in this and whatever, but and a lot of violent things. But still, could do a little bit better than that, I think. Just do a little research. So
Yeah,
I found
like
that
Googled it. I did Google didn't exist back then, but do something.
like James found that the episodes did get better as this, even on the first disc as it went along.
Distinction between better and good.
Yeah. But at the beginning, wow, they were doing some really stupid camera things, and so it did improve. I would say just skip to the second disc and watch, but whatever, that's up to you.
Or skip to the last and then skip to that.
Yeah, James would just say, don't even bother.
Don't bother.
So Resident Evil Damnation. So I put this one above Avatar Fire and Ash, and most people probably wouldn't. Most people are wondering, why is this so far back? Because Avatar, everyone loves Avatar. Well, this doesn't stand on its own. It relies on the movie.
Stories,
yeah. So I look at it that way and go, this really isn't, it's not up to snuff. And yes, you get great animation in both, but I've talked about it before with the special effects and animation, whatever. I mean, it can look really great now, and you watch it 10 years from now or 20 years from now, and it's not gonna, you know. But so there's, with Resident Evil Damnation, wow, there's really a lot of they've made a lot of advancements with animation. This is entirely animated. This one has some real actors and whatever, but this one's entirely animated, and some of the animation is, wow, it's really impressive. And well, it's all really impressive, but still, I would say both of these movies are aimed at a teenage boy audience, and this one's, the violence, you can see there's a lady, a slender lady on the cover, but it's really, this isn't one that, I don't think that the boys would be able to take their girlfriends to see this movie, and the girlfriends would be remotely interested in. Whereas this one, the boys might be able to take girlfriends to it, and they might get something out of it. But yeah, I don't know. I brought these out because I wanted to talk about In the Hunger. James is like, oh, more anorexic women or whatever, right? He doesn't like me at this build. He thinks I should be heavier, and
so.
But I'm doing this to raise a point. So anyway, right now it seems like it's the same sort of atmosphere. I'm seeing a lot of really, interest in women being really thin, which, so anyway, the keto diet's been really popular, and
you're the first person I've ever seen that's actually worked on.
Well, anyway, yeah, it's actually easier to lose weight not keto. But if you want to maintain once you get into a skinny frame, maybe, I don't know, it's you have to have a lot of willpower. because it's dieting is tough. Anyway, so
Anyway, folks, I mean, here's a little bit of advertising. This ain't for money. You want to actually see it work? Here you go.
yeah. So skinny women were. It was very like this was when I was growing up. We didn't have the stretch kind of jeans. What we do is like when I was about 11, 12, around anyway the age when everyone's conforming, around then 10, 11, 12, 13. We'd lay on a bed and pull the jeans up, and you'd have to really, you know, pull together to button it, and then you'd take a hanger and you'd put it on the inside of the zipper, and you'd pull it up, suck it, pull it up, and then you'd get yourself up and you're in your jeans. But
how many hangers got ruined that way?
No, I don't. Well,
don't get ruined.
Just bent back, you know, whatever. They were great. Worked out fine. But anyway, so you have a lot of this skinny women in here, and you can see this what people look like. And then nowadays you see skinny women on TV, and you're like, well, maybe that's airbrushed or something. This is what it looks like. You know, not airbrushed, it's me. And then, I mean, slim animated women, they can do anything. They make you very slim. And this Avatar, these blue creatures, wow,
well,
are they
can end
very, very, very slim.
End up looking like Barbie, I'm sure.
But yeah, and
down below, and
like right now, this is pretty mannequin thin, I think. Pretty mannequin thin. But you can, it seems that expectations or hopes are getting even thinner right now. So
I don't know where that came from. It's just something happened in the late 60s where it became fashionable again.
Well, I know where it happened. I think I know. Well, European women tend to have slender waists, and then their hips go out. And like when I was about 10 and whatever, the Cosby Show, lots of popularity with rap music and stuff like that. But African American women, their hips don't really go out very much. Where their
rear ends do.
Yeah, their bodies, their bottoms tend to go out more. So a bigger bottom, and then slender hips and waist, right? And so it became popular when I was like straight hair like mine. I didn't want it. I wanted curly hair. And
yeah, that's
so it was, honestly, I think that's what it was. It's just and that's why we're seeing it now with women wanting to be ultra thin, because you really, if your ancestors were European, or you have some ancestors who are European and you got the genes and your waist is narrow and then your hips go out, you really, really have to diet down to get those hips narrow. It's incredible what you have to go through to get those, try to get rid of those hips. So anyway, Dust Devil. This one was, what did I say? Was it set in Namibia or something like that?
I think you said that.
Yeah, first movie I've ever seen from there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't good. It was sort of offensive. I mean, there were a lot of, I think there was, well, there probably was more than that, but there weren't very many native African actors in this, surprisingly. And
they're not native to there.
Okay, they're not native to there either. Fine.
They're colonialist settlers.
But one thing I will say about this movie is, even though it seemed to be written and maybe everybody involved with the making of this movie was almost retarded, like there were some things were so, I'll talk about how ridiculous some things were in a bit, but there, somebody who had an eye for art, an artistic eye, was involved with this, because there's kind of an interesting scene with there's a deserted town, that the windows, there's no glass in the windows, and the buildings have filled with sand, like they're in the desert, right? And not filled, but there's sand dunes inside the rooms and stuff like that. And there's the one guy, the police officer, he's trying to pull himself through a doorway that's completely filled with sand, but for enough room for him to squeeze himself through. And he gets into a room, and it's a movie theater. That the chairs are, you can just see the tops of the chairs, there's sand and the screen, right? And it's kind of beautiful. It's really interesting. But when he goes into he splits up with a woman, and he's like, stay right here, I'll be right back, or whatever. There's no explanation for why he's going anywhere. So him digging around, getting himself through the rooms, and it's like, but why? You know, it's just there. Oh, that's not what to do.
That was a wasp.
No, it was a bee.
Yeah, either way, it's.
I guess he liked my shirt, or she.
Best not to take a swing at them.
Yeah, too tired. So anyway, there's parts in this show that are really, really stupid. Like parts that there should have been another take, but they just went with it. Like, you were talking about soap opera acting and something we're watching now. Well, this, woof. And there's a couple, and the woman ends up leaving, and the husband is watching her go, and there's kids that are going to run by. You know, he's watching her go, and you're going to see the kids running by in the neighborhood playing soccer, or whatever they're playing. I think the soccer. But the one kid is packing the ball, and then he drops it and then kicks it along. And it's like, so it's just started. Their playing has just started for the scene, within that scene, and it looks, yeah, it's stupid.
Posed.
Yeah, it's posed. And they should have realized, no, you drop the ball beforehand and juggle it in, or whatever, right?
You'd have trouble controlling the kids. They wouldn't be actors, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess, but there's just
Extra.
too much junk in this. It's the story, not good. Yeah, I don't know what James wants to talk about. I want to eat, so I can't believe you're getting a little shade right now. Boy, how'd you luck out?
Just sitting here. If we stay out here long enough, you'll be sitting in at least partial.
All right, so you have 6 minutes, James.
Okay, 6.
Talk about. Oh, I'm even sweating. Okay, 6 minutes.
So
you got a full stack there, whatever you want to talk about.
Something I watched part of
Oh, not
yesterday. Inland Empire.
No, you can talk about. We have a whole bunch of things here. If you want to talk about the hunger or whatever.
No,
Okay.
Said
Then
all I
you'll
want
talk
to say
about
about
whatever
the
you
hunger. I haven't seen the extra thing that you watched from Inland Empire. You watched all, what, 3
Yeah.
features?
Well,
or
I
extra
watched
features?
Ballerina, which literally is just a ballerina dancing.
Well, you do worse than that. You know,
Okay.
could be some stupid hip hop stuff.
It's really not that good.
Anyway, I'll have to watch that other one. Hopefully we don't have to return it today or whatever. Anyway, I watched one of 4 episodes of something called Dogfight. I'm absolutely positive she can go for herself, and I think she's actually stated that more than once. It's about the New York Times coverage of Donald Trump after he got elected. You know, so I think it starts with his inauguration address or whatever. Inaugural? Is that what they call it? And I watched the first one, and I got through about 34